A very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the NSSF webinar. This is Mboa Apollo. Joining us today is a panel of distinguished panelists, and we are talking about digital. Thank you so much for taking off this time, taking off these 2 hours to be with us, and we converge ourselves into the school of money. I always want to emphasize why we do this and why we do this on a monthly. Every month we put aside these 2 hours and we say, let's converge ourselves into a group, and I'm happy that I am glad to be the headmaster of this school of money. We just want to talk about money because all of us went through school to study to get money. Now we are getting money. Now what? Are we still working for money? Will we work for money forever? When will the money work for us? So we want to always have these discussions, and we want to take them from persons that we believe that have been somewhere, and they can share their stories with you so that you can get there. Maybe you are after where they have been, but there's something, 1 or 2 things you can pick. And why do we keep doing this as NSSF? The biggest thing is, as NSSF, we keep paying, and it's not paying, we keep giving people back their money. It's their money, they have contributed this money. And this money, if this money does not become of purpose to them, as NSSF, much as I've fulfilled my mandate of taking away the money, keeping it away from you, growing it, and handing it back to you, if that money does not help you, then as NSSF, I would have failed you. And that money does not help you because it has been given to you when you are old. I want to dismiss that. The older you grow, the wiser you become, the wealthier you need to become. But most times, the older you grow, the poorer you become. That money fails to help you because you have never started anything while you were working. While you are working, you had never started anything. And our campaign here is, can you start something while you are in your workplace? 50 billion of NSSF benefits goes out to the public every month in a normal month. But over the last 3 weeks, we started the midterm access, and with the midterm access we have 50 billion going into the economy every week. That money needs to count, and at financial literacy here we say let that money count. So I'm happy to convene this school, the first session in the term where we are doing midterm access, and we are saying let that money count. 50 billion is going out every month, every week. Can that money count? We are using quite a number of digital tools. You do not have to come line up at NSSF just to become relevant to this particular topic. We use quite a number of digital tools. You can use your phone, you can use the web, you can send an email, you can send a WhatsApp, and you claim your benefits. You do not have to show up physically, and your benefits will definitely reach you. Today we are going to talk about digital tools. What is it that I can do with my digital tools? There are quite a number of digital tools that are available to us, and as you will, our poll questions will say, all these are available. So we have a distinguished panel of people who are using digital tools to advance their agendas. They will tell us whether it is working for them or not working for them, or whether they should use something else, or maybe they do a public rally. Where would they be if they had used a different means? So today we are going to talk about digital tools: Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Telegram, Post Office. So many of these things. We are going to talk about them and say, what is it that you earn out of it? I myself, I am happy to report that I'm also on social media. Please follow me. I'm on Twitter. Yes, when you go to Apollo, you must find it. Apollo, please follow me. I need you to follow me so that I become relevant to this conversation. I have a good number of followers. I have about 42 followers. They have been following me for the last 5 years. Thank you so much, my 42. The rest, I'm happy for you to join. I am going to close out that space, and when I close out, don't come crying to me. But please, Apollo Mboa on Twitter, follow him. I'm also told I have other pages, but that is the one I am sure of. Social media. Who are you? The person that is listening to us. I will ask my back office team to share our poll question, the first poll question, so that we become relevant to you as we speak about this, as we go about this conversation. We need to understand who are you in this conversation. So our first poll question is, what's your age? Are you below 20? Are you between 20 and 30? Are you between 30 and 40? Are you between 40 and 50? Are you above 50? Who are you? What's your gender? Are you male or female? What's your employment status? We need to understand all this so that we make it relevant for the people talking can be relevant. Are you in formal employment? Are you a business owner? Are you self-employed? Are you unemployed? Please rate your proficiency with digital tools. Is it excellent? Are you moderate? Are you poor? Are you moving around your laptop as if, to use someone's quote, as if it is a lost cause, looking for a button to press? Then you grade yourself as poor. So in 3 seconds, we are going to close this. And the results show that for the people attending right now, if you are kind enough to display those results again, the people attending right now, thank you, 30% are between 20 to 30, 49% are between 30 to 40, 15% are between 40 to 50, and 7% above 50. When it comes to the gender, the last time we are in the Women's Month, so we celebrate all the ladies. And as the gentleman, we shall continue attending on your behalf. 55% of us are gentlemen, 45% are ladies. When it comes to employment status, 73% are in formal employment. Right now, they are using their boss's time to watch this webinar. 8% are business owners, 9% are self-employed, and 10% are unemployed. When it comes to proficiency, the majority of us are moderate, 72%. Then there is a 6%, I'm not in that 6%, that they are poor. Then for us who are excellent with good followers, please follow Apollo BAUER on Twitter. 22% of us are excellent. Thank you so much, the back office team. It's now my pleasure. It's always my humble duty. But before just to share some house rules here. In this, we are in the School of Money. So I'm inviting the panelists. If you are addressing me, you address me as Sir, Headmaster Sir, because I am the headmaster of this school, and I give warning letters, I give expulsions. I don't have a deputy, I only have matrons. To steer our discussion is a gentleman, John Senkezi. John is a multi-faced, I'm looking for the word, but I'll leave it out, I can't pronounce it. But he's a marketing professional with over 11 years experience in digital and social media strategy. Now, while I was reading this before, I was wondering, now this digital media and social media for many people, it is something they go to play. This man is earning for the last 11 years, is earning out of it. He has experience in content development, analytics, media planning, buying, spanning in industries from fast-moving goods, banking, telecoms, automobiles, behavioral change, media, among others. Currently he's the digital supervisor at NSSF. Anything that to do with our pages and everything, if there's any problem you find, he's the person to blame. If you find it there's something to credit, I'll take the credit because we work with him. Yeah, so John, he's the digital supervisor at NSSF. His role is to see strategy, content, community analytics, media planning, buying functions of the fund. In his previous life, he was privileged to lead digital strategy in global and top local brands like Airtel, Vodacom, Daily Monitor, Barclays, Hawaii. You leave me alone. Among others. Excuse me. He started his career in media and moved to advertising agencies, telecoms, before joining NSSF. Welcome, John. John is going to be our moderator for today, and we have a panel of distinguished panelists. But before we go to that, I will ask for the second poll to be shared so that people understand who we are dealing with. John, this is we want the people to tick off the social media channel that they actively subscribe to, and you have been given quite a number of options: WhatsApp, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, chat, post office. Please tick off one of those, and go ahead, not one, just tick off all the ones that you subscribe to. And what are your reasons for subscribing to these platforms? Is it for catch up? Is it for professional connections? Is it for marketing? Is it for keeping up with the trends? Let us know. Would want to understand what is it that you do with social media and for what reasons. I want to give this information to John before he introduces our panelists today, who you all know. They need no introduction if you're in any of these channels. So in 4 seconds we need to close this, and let's end that poll and see what are the results looking like. The results show that 97% of the people on this call are on WhatsApp. Not 90. Okay, this is a multiple answer question. So the most popular among among the people here is WhatsApp, followed by Facebook, popular at 74%, followed by YouTube, popular at 59%, followed by Instagram at 49%. Oh, I had forgotten LinkedIn. Sorry, LinkedIn, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Twitter comes before LinkedIn, before YouTube, and Telegram. Please, if we could just see the other results. On chat, they're about 4%, and 3% have subscribed to post office. Yes, post office comes in the least popular. Post office, someone is asking what is post office. Those are letters we write, address them, put them, buy stamps, and then post. Then someone on the other end receives, writes back to us. Yes, it still works. Yes. What are the reasons of subscribing to these platforms? 85% subscribe to these platforms because they want to be for professional connections. 77 are catching up, aka Lugambo. 56% want to keep with the trends, and 47% do it for marketing purposes. So John, that panel you have today is going to discuss to the persons that have shown that, and we are happy, we are excited, we are privileged to have the presence of this gentleman and this lady. I am not fit, nor am I able to introduce them. They are beyond me. I will call up John to introduce them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Apollo, and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. Like Apollo said, my name is John Senkes. I'll be the moderator this afternoon. I'll start with the introductions. On my immediate left is Sandra Navasidie. Sandra is an education person turned farmer, and not any farmer, a slave farmer. So we are very excited to hear from Sandra how she manages to do agriculture and slay at the same time, and how she leverages the online channels to take her product to market. Sandra, you're welcome.
Thank you, John, for having me. Hi, everyone. My name is Sandra Navasirie, slave farmer. I'm a Makerere University trained teacher, but I'm a full-time farmer now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pleasure having you. Then my far left, Moses Chiboneka, commonly known as Uncle Mo, the man who uses comedy, satire, and wit to do social commentary. But he's also someone who is one of the high flyers, I would say, that we have in the country as far as content generation and creation is concerned. Moses, you're welcome to the webinar.
Thank you very much. The moment you said high flyer, I thought we were not talking about me anymore. But I'm happy to be here and to share stage with Sandra and talk about things aligning and positioning brands with digital platforms. Yeah, happy to be here.
Great. All right. So I think my job is quite easy. I'm here to, and Sandra will relate, to play parasite, extract as much information from you guys as possible. And you might wonder out there why we are here and why this particular topic at this time. The last 2 years, if anything, have proved that digital and social media marketing is the way to go for so many companies. Previously, those who had the big budgets, may not have been interested, but the last 2 years have actually shown us that people can live virtually, people can sell virtually, and the purpose of this webinar is to help you start on that journey, regardless of the size of your business, whether it is for your personal brand or your professional brand. We hope that by the end of the session, you would have picked a thing or two. Please do not hesitate if you have a question to drop it in the comment section on our social media platforms or the chat on Zoom, and I'll be happy to pass it on to the panel. I'll start with you, Moses. An engineer,
Yes.
content creator. I'm struggling to see the connection. Where does it all start?
Trust me, I struggled with that as well. Uh, First of all, it's been a very long time since I had someone call me Moses. Thank you. I have not had anyone call me Moses, because even my parents used to call me Moses and now call me Uncle Mo. I'm struggling to find someone like, can someone remind me who I was? But I didn't find, if I was given a chance to introduce myself, I'd say I am a hybrid of art and science, because I love both passionately. But I used to think that my art side is going to be something I do when I'm chilling, my pastime and stuff. And I didn't even ever create so much time for it, because society has created a certain image about the professions we pick up from school. Uh, I enjoy being called an engineer. I enjoyed before. I was like, "Ah, man, that's what I do. Tulipagezi, you see." But so COVID happens, and I remember showing up at the garage where I work every 4 months, and there's no car that drove in. But the part that I am as an artist has always been there. I have from school. I was doing stage plays. I was even getting into film in Uganda, but I was so passionate about acting that I would go on a film set, finish shooting, and go home. Then someone on the set is like, "You forgot to sign for the money." I used to look at acting as something I can just do and walk away. I didn't ever glorify it as, it should be something really serious. When COVID happened, I was like, I need to tap into this long sleeping passion, because everyone seemed to be online. And I was like, why can't I just start? There were so many months before life would come back to normal. And during that period, I think it took me about 5 months of just plowing and trying to find my position in art. And now we're here. I'm an engineer that actually also does content.
Quite an interesting conversation. I think the thing about your content is it's basically a fresh air kind of thing in the economy. I think the comedy we are accustomed to is not as witty, as clean, as you communicate and at the same time entertain. Is it because of a training you've had? Is it purely talent? What's the X factor? Where does it come from for your case?
I'm glad I didn't have to be the one to say the things you just said. But but every time I'm trying to speak to someone about them picking up on something they want to do, my question for them, in now my little mentoring moments I have with my buddies, I'm like, why you? What are you doing better than the other guy? The people that are at the top, they are there because they did things that other people didn't do. Now, if you get that and you first nail it into your head, it's going to be very easy for you to get to where you're going, or to stand out if where you're going is standing out. Um, I looked at the comedy circuit in the country, and I adore what they do, and they have been doing this year to year. So I adore the work ethic. They're hard workers. And I was like, am I ready to compete with that? I actually find they're very good that I couldn't even compete. So I said, who do I want to compete with? Let me compete with the comedy that I fell in love with growing up. And that's the comedy that is structured to reach more. This is the reason my comedy is in English. So if I'm looking at, I used to look at bigger shows, Saturday Night Live. I used to look at Jay Leno, Jon Stewart. If I used to really love that, and there's so many numbers that are following that kind of comedy, then let me try compete at that level. So it might be a long walk to that freedom, but you, you should burden yourself with a goal worth failing for. Yeah, if I could put it that way.
I think I like how you close that. Burden yourself with a goal that's worth failing for. Sandra, I'll cross over to you. All these years at Makerere,
Yeah.
studying education,
Yeah.
courseworks, going to schools to train, internship, and all of that, and then you switch to agriculture full time. What's your story?
Do I look at you? Or I look
Anyway,
okay. Okay, thank you. Well, I've done agriculture not for long. I think this is the fourth year. I graduated in 2015. Yeah. I wanted to be a politician. Yeah, I was very active at campus. I was a student leader. I was a speaker of my school, the Mighty School of Education, and also the president of our college. So I wanted to be a politician. I was an activist at some point. So farming wasn't really my thing. Yeah. Of course, after finishing school, I taught for some time, not for long, just 2 schools. And of course, I had to change from being a politician to now a business person. Yeah. So I started a few businesses here and there, selling clothes. Now, before actually COVID, I think it was 2018. Um, there was a friend who visited me. He had a newspaper, yeah, News Vision, and okay, this is where my inspiration starts from. If you may ask, why farming? So he visited me with a newspaper, and there was a lady. I think she was from Mbale. She had hosted people at her farm, and she had tomatoes, well-steak tomatoes, juicy tomatoes. I think it was about 50 years. So I had this friend of mine that I think I want to do farming. Yeah, like why farming? People get at that time actually tomato prices were high. 3 pieces were I think for 1,000 in my village in Abingo. Meanwhile, I know what was happening in Kampala. So I was like, if people are getting money, why can't I do farming? I have space at my home. So I told me, you can't do farming, Sandra. You're known for other things. You cannot. Like, nobody saw me as a farmer. But in my mind, me, I wanted money. So I told him, if this lady who is about 50 years can do farming, how about me? Like, no, you want manage a lot of challenges. Da, 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 da. So I was like, I think I can do some research, yeah? Because me, I want money. How much is about? At that time, a box of tomatoes was about, I think, 400,000. 400, 500,000. I didn't tell people I'm a tomato farmer. I'm not just a farmer, I'm a tomato farmer. So I told him I want to do tomatoes because there is money. 400, just one box like this, 180 kgs. People are getting money. Like, it's not easy, but I took it upon myself to, get knowledge. Yeah. I visited a few farmers here and there. I got out of discouragement. It wasn't easy when I was starting, but I always wanted to stand out. It's very important for you to not. I wanted to be different, yeah. But like, no, you want to make it. I was like, what's so special about them that I can't do? No, you're a woman. Even the guys I visited, yeah, the male farmers. You're a woman. At least do cabbages or do pumpkins or do simple or beans and maize. I was like, I want tomatoes. I'm going for the hard things. So all those were still thoughts. I not shared with anyone, not even the public. So slowly, I think it took me 3 months to make up my mind. I didn't have enough money. Yeah, I had less than 2M. But I was determined to start farming because of the lady that I saw in the newspaper. So I got seeds. I got some knowledge, here and there. When you're starting, you try to seek for no advice. What do you think I should do? I saw so and so. In the 1990s, we used to grow tomatoes. Made losses. So nobody really gave me a positive. I was like, I'm going for tomatoes. So I started, and my first harvest was really a blessing. Yeah. But before I used not to, post what I was doing. Yeah, I know that's where you're coming. So I used not to post. I was intimidated. I was afraid of like failing. People saying, "Oh, we told you. You see your post. Okay, now you're showing us how you're starting. We're waiting for the end results." I didn't want, because I didn't know how it was going to end. So what I did, I was taking pictures of every stage, yeah, in my small garden, not very small, about 1 acre. So I used to wake up, we used to work very hard, wake up early in the morning. I didn't have enough labor. I had, I think, one maid and also some guy like casual laborers. But I was very determined. At that point, I didn't want to go back to school to teach. The money was not really, and I didn't want to upgrade my Yadu masters. They did all the things. I was like, let me try tomatoes. I looked around. Of course, I was active on social media, but there was no young female farmer. And I thought to myself, I think I can be the first young female farmer. But it was a dream at that point, yeah. So I started, and I posted, I think, at a later stage when the harvest was out, yeah. So that's how my story starts, the farming. Not that I started farming, no. It's a passion. I didn't even have the passion. Me, I wanted money, yeah. The passion grew. I'll be very honest. I wanted money because people are getting just 150 kgs and you have your 500,000. So that's how my story started, and here I am. Yeah.
Quite inspirational. Before I leave you, Sandra, I think the people out there are interested in knowing how your tomatoes leave the garden to the cyberspace. So if you could do us a favor and walk us through your process, for lack of a better word. How do you create your content? How do you push it out there? How do you make sure it's seen by a significant number of people? Something like that.
Okay. Okay, I also learned social media along the way. And it's because, like I told you, I wanted to be different. I wanted to stand out. I saw what was being posted on social media was not really farming. Okay, there were other things, yeah, which I want to mention, yeah. I was like, and of course, some of the friends I'd graduated with were still jobless. Some were, okay, I'm in the village. I was posted in Chiboga. I'm in a government school, the Kamane. I was like, I think I can put out. And at first, actually, as I was starting to put my content out, or if you might call it content, it's because I wanted to share my story to tell people that you can have a degree and then do farming instead of you crying like you have no job, you have no nothing, like whether you're jobless after graduating, you can, do farming, because I'm also earning. And that time I started earning, I didn't put the things, of course, I don't want to be a motivational speaker for nothing. I had something to show, yeah, after the harvest. That's when I started sharing my story. So, it was just posting, captioning, oh, your harvest is here, or you can look this nice and money, yeah. So, later, when people started picking into, actually it's the public that kind of, opened my eyes that, man, what you're giving us, we're interested, give us more, keep posting. And so that's when I started looking at it as a marketing strategy, yeah. So meat is, I take them through all the stages of production from the seed when I was starting. Yes, of course, now I've advanced the things I add in and all that. But at first it was the whole production process from getting the seeds, nursery bed, up to harvest, yeah. So I think that answers your question. Yeah.
It does. I think the thing I love about the way you push out your content is that you give the customer an inside look of what happens before these tomatoes land in their shopping basket or dining table, etc. And I think it's a lesson for many businesses out there to learn. Sometimes the story you tell about your product is one of the most powerful. People want to buy from someone who is passionate, someone who invests time, follows the best practices of production and all of that, which I think really helps you to sell your products and services. Moses, Nyange Auto Garage, Uncle Mo, I don't know what your side hustle is between the two. Just tell us, how do you use the platforms to push Uncle Mo as a brand, and how does that then affect Nyange? Are they complementing each other, or have you distanced these two?
They are complementing each other. But first of all, when I was getting onto social media, when I started content creating, on social media, like I think on Twitter I had 100 followers. I was better than Apple. I had 100 followers on Twitter. I think I had 1,000. I think on Facebook. Yeah. So the thing about digital, people pay to indulge. So it is important for you to give them reason. It is important for you to be exciting. And the job I do is not even very exciting. As in, if I start making videos about how to change the bushings of a car, not so many people are going to be excited. But there's a power in indirect advertising that I have okay, probably I'm not discovered. It was already there, but I have found that there is a certain power in people are very stubborn. They want to look at what you didn't talk about. You know, I say that about us here in Uganda. If you want Ugandans to do something, tell them not to do it. There's a way they will jump onto it. Don't get out at night. Why? Yeah. So I do my content from a garage, and I know that somehow people are going to ask the question, but is he really a mechanic? By the way, I get it a lot. But it gets me wondering, but here in Uganda, who isn't? But anyway. So it is complementing, but again, I'm a person that is a sucker for being efficient. I don't want to be overwhelmed. So it's complicating just in enough quantities. Yeah. So going back to, I come to social media, and at the time I wouldn't do anything for the garage, but I wanted to do, because I was not getting followers. I did everything. I posted myself. I was like, what? Do I have to open my eyes wider or something? I tweeted a few things. Twitter was the hardest because there was 100 people. I got onto Twitter in 2010, about 2010. But by 2020, I had 100 followers. So that means I got 10 followers every year. So it was hard. So I start to do my content. Mankomo, the mechanic from Chireka. I started shooting my videos. The time when I started, I used to just write posts on Facebook of my opinions on things. Now, a certain person I go to church with, yes, I go to church, guys. So a person I go to church with tells me, I wish the things you put out in text can be video, because we don't read that much, because I find them funny. I was like, good, come and shoot. Now, there's a big lesson here. At the time when I started working on my content creation, the truth is I had no money. I was broke. There was no work for months. I was even depressed. But at least I thank God that someone believed in what I've been doing on the side, and they pushed me to start. So when they come to me, I told them, can you work with me on the project? You guys, you don't know the power of partnering. You just can't do everything. This person came on board. She's called Diana Ringthorpe. She was like, let me come. If I like your content, we are idle. I'll come and shoot it. I was like, yeah, cool. So I wrote my first script, and she came, and I posted my first video. Of course, when you post the first one, people want you to be followed, but you should be very happy that people are not following you when you're starting. Thank God. As in, when you're about to start, tell God, by the God, I thank you that no one is following me yet, because the truth is your first work online will suck. And my first video, I don't, probably not even my best, but I'll never put it down, so that anyone who comes through what I've done, they can see that, yeah, this is where we come from. So I thank God that there were no people, so many people watching, but at least a few people are like, if you keep working on it. Yeah, I've learned that practice makes improvement. Over time, it starts coming to you. Over time, you start realizing why you are online. I mean, the market tells you what they want. So, and you have to stick there. Let me tell you, I wear specs, and I always want to have a watch on. But when I'm making my content, I don't have specs, I don't have a watch. Because there's a character I've given to people that they have embraced, and we're going to keep at it. So I've been intentional, because, like I said, what you practice is what you're going to keep getting better at. So I've been intentional on just keeping that. I realized the excitement it brings. So every day I ask myself, how do we do it better? How do we still be? I want three things. I have a team I work with, but every time we put out a video, I ask three things. Were we funny? Did we give information? Did we leave something someone will remember? Now, if you keep doing that for so many times, it is going to be a very good thing to be remembered for. Yeah.
Wow, very powerful. But I think I read from both your submissions that there is a lot of thinking that must go into someone maintaining social media presence or online presence. I have a very simple way to put structure that I always encourage people to use. It's called the BAUER model, BAUR, and what it essentially means. Apollo says we complicate these things. B standing for brand. You need to build a brand. You need to be known for something. Is it going to be the quality? Is it going to be the pricing? You need to have a unique selling point. Your people, your processes, that all contributes to your brand. Then, of course, A for acquisition or sales. Now, the problem we have with most people is that they will jump to sell, which is quite understandable, but they want to sell first, post orders, fulfill, money is in, and it's never the case. And again, we also do a very poor job at relationship management with our customers. My background is telecom. One of the reasons why telecoms make money is what we call customer lifecycle management, where you profile your customers, understand who buys what, when, and then now engage that same audience with a very minimal cost, if any, to actually get more value from them. And the last one, the R, is retention. We spend a lot of time acquiring customers, but then the way we serve them will either turn them into advocates or detractors. So the guy you've not served well, I keep telling people that the best digital marketing advice I can give you is not even digital marketing. It's basically the experience that you give your customers with your product, with your brand. There are so many channels out there, Sandra. We saw from the poll, for example, some of our participants are active on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, Facebook, name it. What informed your decision when you were selecting Facebook and Twitter as your preferred channels?
Okay, thank you. Now, I was on Facebook before joining Twitter. I think in 2011, probably were the first people to join Facebook. Then Twitter, like I told, my story is very interesting, but I'll share it. For Facebook, I was not very active. Yeah, as you get your phone, just go through the feeds and nothing really to post because I really had nothing to post. Maybe I had, but I chose not to post. Now on Twitter, I joined the very year I started farming, 2019. I didn't know. Okay, I knew about Twitter, but not so much. So now this one of the mentors I had, actually is my brother's friend, is called Samuel Kamia. He called me one day, Sandra, are you on Twitter? I told him no, why? There's a competition, there was a competition, a photo contest in Kenya, yeah? I know how Kenyans are on Twitter. So he told me, it's for young, I think for young farmers in agriculture, just post a photo of yourself, and I'm sure you're taking photos, though you've not started sharing. I told him, no, I don't know Twitter, I don't think I'm interested. So the first month, I think the contest was on for 3 months. So the second month, he still called me again. Go, Sandra, you've not joined Twitter yet. Please join. I'm sure people would love to maybe hear your story. Just share your pictures. At that point, I started taking my pictures of myself in the garden, slaying. Yeah, that's how I got him in the name of Slay Farmer. So he told me, please share your pictures. I even had some old phone. I was forced to buy a phone. Yeah. So I opened up Twitter. Like, let me just open. Now, my aim of joining Twitter was to get money, to win the contest. I think they were giving 500 Uganda shillings at the time. The 501 M. I was like, this money will help me buy inputs for my garden. Let me join. If I win, yes, I'll buy, inputs, farm inputs. So I joined Twitter as Sandra Navasirie. Then I posted my picture. Of course, I got a few likes. Oh, this is yeah, okay, she's a woman, she's in farming, But my first audience of my followers were Kenyans. Actually, up to now, most people still think I'm a Kenyan because of my first followers. They pushed my thing. Of course, I didn't win the competition, but I stayed. Please don't laugh. But I stayed on the platform. Yeah, I didn't win. I think I came number 3, I don't remember, but I didn't win. That's the most important thing. I was like, fine, let me stay on the app. So I started getting, followers. Kenyans, Ugandans, I think I had very few. Hey, Sandra, where are you doing it from? How long and people thought I'd done it for some time. I had a unique way of doing my work, because the very first time I started farming, I was taking tomatoes. Tomatoes are known, almost farmers grow them on ground, yeah? They mulch them, and but me, first garden, it was staked, and the garden was very neat. Meanwhile, just like slayers, you want nice things. The presentation really matters. And that time, I wanted, like I told you, I wanted to stand out. I wanted everything to be, on point, on point, on point. So then I started, of course, now when I joined Twitter, it was going through, what people were posting, what they were talking about. I saw it was politics, entertainment, relationships. The interest was not in any of those, but I slowly but I started posting my farm, experiences. Yeah, the plants, the flowers, because farming at that point, it was very fascinating to me. Yeah, seeing flowers in the garden, seeing tomatoes for a very very first time. It was in my garden, my own garden. So I wanted to share what I was experiencing to the world. Yeah, so I started sharing sway by sway. Then I started gaining followers, and that time it wasn't about making money. Yeah, it was just shared like it was a normal platform, but I was very very specific. It was purely farming. Yeah, it was purely farming. So people, and I think of course I have been having the name Slay Farmer. I put it there as my username. Yeah. So I said posting, farming, 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 sharing articles, sharing, and later I think I said getting followers in a very short time. I was like, okay, so this is what happens. Yeah, when you share, and I thought it was okay. Like it's farming, so there's not doing nothing special about farming. Yet maybe people are, I didn't realize that people are interested in what I was doing. Yeah, and me being a teacher, and I also became an advocate for young girls and also young women and also youth, that you can don't be there and you think this is an odd job, like I'm doing it myself. And I also wanted to kind of get back to those people who said that I would not make it in farming. Yeah, trying to disprove them and stuff like that. So that's how I ended up on Twitter. Then I learned a lot online. So nobody taught me from observing, and I knew I wanted to build a brand as Slave Farmer. So I had to, as teachers, I talk about teaching because that is who I am. We get some bit of training, not bit of training, we get really training that probably other professions won't get. How you conduct yourself in society, what you do, what you say. So I had to kind of put that in what I was doing on social media, on Twitter. So it took me time. I used to be online but not active. I had to first identify myself, what I wanted. Yeah, I wanted to stand out as a slave farmer. Yeah. Then I had to know, what am I posting? Is it farming? Is it politics? Is it other things? I told myself it has to be farming, strictly farming. And with doing that, I had to I gained followers, people reaching out for mentorship, and also to buy. Yeah. Then later I realized that, hey, this is a marketing strategy. This is a platform I can use to sell my products. Yeah. Because I knew that I wanted to be a different, and not an ordinary farmer like those other farmers in the villages. So I needed to know, okay, if it's Twitter, it's a corporate, for the corporates rather, I need to package well my products. Yeah, cleaning them, coming up with a weight, delivering. Of course, that came with him, but I didn't start it in 2019. That came, I think, like recently, 2021. You have to give yourself time to learn. Yeah, to observe. Don't skip steps. Learn, and also know what you want, and yeah. That's how I ended up on Twitter, and yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah. Very inspirational. I can't wait to order your tomatoes. I hope they don't require a seat belt and what. They seem to slay. Now, before I move on to Moses, the theme for this Women's Month is Break the Bias. I know this is not digital marketing per se, but how do you manage to overcome the challenges and the biases surrounding one, what you do, agriculture. You're someone who went to school and is looked at as something that doesn't require papers and all of that. How do you manage to overcome those biases that are out there? And what would you say, because I saw we have, I think, about 45% of the participants female. What would you say to someone who would like to try something out there, diversify their income, but they're afraid to take that first step?
First and foremost, you have to block negative energy. I blocked that when I was starting, like I told you. Many people discouraged me. My friends, some family members, oh, that's a job for men. Oh, you won't make it. Oh, you won't make it. You need to block negative energy, yeah? Know what you want as a woman, yeah? And you have to be very, very aggressive. Me, when I was starting, I share this story whenever I get a platform like this. I used to carry jerrycan. My very first garden, we used to spray not like spraying, watering 80 jerrycans per day, 40 in the morning, 40 in the evening. Of course, no ordinary woman can do that. You get, but because there were those voices behind, you want to make it, you want to make it. I was like, you guys, I need to show you that I can really make it. Yeah. So you as a woman need to be very aggressive. If in case it might not be farming, but anything you want to invest in or to do, as long as you feel you're committed that this is something you really want to do and you can make money out of it, be very aggressive. People are going to talk, know what you want. Then secondly, specialize. There are so many, you're going to be distracted. Oh, there's this business selling bags. I just want to say tomatoes work, let me invest in tomatoes. And then the other day there is maize. I think I should start maize. The other day maybe I should start comedy. I've watched Uncle Mo doing his skits. I think I can do. I'm even better than him. I mean, I have capital. You get, man, stick to one thing, otherwise you're going to fail. You get, of course I'm talking to women. For men, he will talk about I'm focusing on my ladies because some of this is personal experience. Yeah, when I was starting, I wouldn't be here if I'd listened to those voices. Yeah, me when I was starting 2019, it has always been tomatoes. Of course now I'm doing other things, but I'm known for tomatoes. I'm sure in the mention about tomato farmers in Uganda, I mean, you can't miss Sandra Navasi, right? Don't just nod. Exactly. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I've because there's so many crops in agriculture, but I chose tomatoes. And of course, I didn't know everything as I was starting. I had to learn on the job. I made mistakes, I had to, learn from them. And you can't grow when you're doing so many things. Today you're doing carrots, the other day you're doing onions, the other day you're doing maize. And I'm talking about agriculture. Choose one crop, learn from it, specialize. You've been known for that one thing. In farming, I'm known for tomatoes, but right now I'm doing other crops. Yeah, I'm into mentoring, I'm into training, of course, as a teacher. No longer in classroom, but at least I'm in the farm and I still teach. But the tomato farmers, oh, there is Sandra Navasi. So you as a woman, don't listen to negative energy as a maybe young girl. Specialize, be very aggressive, know what you want. Yeah, and also be very honest. Be very honest, and also let's also talk about social, because it's about, the theme is digital platforms. Yeah, be very honest when you're doing, or when you've started, let's say, venturing in your agriculture and you're posting on social media. Don't advertise juicy tomatoes and you deliver rotten tomatoes to your customers. You get, at the end of the day you complain, they lie to us, there is no money in farming, manya digital, I've tried. And you be very exactly, be very, 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 very honest with yourself and also your customers, because most of the referrals I get are the people I supply my tomatoes. Or there is this girl, what she does is a bit different, she delivers. Or there are those, you need that as a woman who is starting. And sometimes it's us who put ourselves down. Yeah, because you think you're a woman, you're going to be favored. It doesn't come like that. No, it's not easy. Yeah, I mean, it's this person, we're fighting with men. Yeah, in this, and that card, I think they used to use it those years. Oh, she's a woman, nobody's going to favor you when you're doing quick things. Yeah, make sure what you're the language I'm using is okay, fine. So make sure what you're giving is what you advertise. What you advertise is what you're really putting out there, what you're selling. Yeah, be yourself. Don't try to be me. Yeah, be original. Yeah, I hope I'm still answering your question. Be original. When I was starting, it was me, Sandra Navas, the slave farmer, a farmer, period. I didn't try to be like, we have prominent farmers in this country. Be yourself. Yeah, be original. With that, of course, you gain the following on different platforms. Also, you gain the trust from maybe the clients, because they'll know if you want tomatoes, it is her and her and her and her alone. You get, because you didn't start as someone doing something different and then you start changing. And of course, if you want to change, still let your customers know that, well, we said as tomato farmers, now we are processors. You get. So that's the advice I can give them. But most importantly, believe in yourself. People are going to discourage you. I was discouraged when I was also starting. People are going to compare you with so and so. You will not make it. You need money. And also, maybe important to note is some of these ventures, especially agriculture, you don't need a lot of capital. No. You do not need. It's about the commitment you have and also the zeal you have. Yeah, if you're committed and you're willing to do the work, because we've seen so many people invest in agriculture with a lot of money and they fail. Others invest with little money and they make it. So don't think your money is going to do everything for you. No, get the knowledge, the right knowledge, consult with the right people, know when to do things, why are you doing it, how are you going to do it, and all that. Then you're good to go.
Wow. So resilience,
Yeah.
um, you know, shutting out the negative
Yes.
energy. I think those are very critical for anyone, not only the ladies. Anyone, you need to, have a goal, go for it, and stop at nothing until you're there. Moses, speaking of specialization, which is a very important point, there are so many channels available to us to either grow our personal brands or the businesses, but there is a very common mistake of brands lifting, that's the word I use, content that they've done for Facebook, using the same content on Twitter, using the same content on LinkedIn. um, what's your practice? How do you manage to differentiate, these channels and still maintain one identity as Ankomo or as Nyange?
First of all, if one, you should, I don't want to use the term, but I don't know how I'm going to say this. Uh, Also think, we're not going to put your Snapchat work on your LinkedIn. So first of all, there's a part where you should work. We should do the finding out on your own. Um, and the thing about content, creating content, is you can't. I forgive people who put the same thing everywhere. It is very understandable, because what we do is that we first shoot, then aim. If you aim too early, you don't know what you're missing out. The stuff I'm doing, when I was hearing us saying block out negative energy, me, I don't even have the luxury, because I'm doing this stuff for other people. The enemy is my friend. I like haters. Haters, please keep doing, because let me tell you, the haters are, for me, maybe not all the time, but most times they are right for me. No, because when I had when I was starting out and people were saying a few things, you see, it's a reason why, like she was saying, man, get what you like and keep there. You see, the thing about passions, however many times you fall, it's very easy to get up. So when every time people started saying, maybe he needs to change, I was like, I'll fix that. So it's art, and I keep saying, art is not like for example, comedy. It is not like people who go to the lab to make sodium chloride. They be there, just two guys. If it doesn't work out, they pour and they mix again. Me, that mixing, I call people and I'm like, first come and we see if it works. You know? And you come to the people and people are like, man, it didn't work. So for me, I don't have the luxury to first prepare, then come out. I prepare with the people, I work with the people, I grow with people. So in the end, that starts to carve out the people who have business accounts on social media. We have detailed analytics. Who is watching, from where, how old are they, what time they watched. So you start understanding what content they won't like in a certain place. Like, I have companies I'm working with that I have to influence for, and I tell them I overcompensated the post there on Facebook and I didn't put it on Twitter, because my audience there does not, according to my numbers, my audience does not follow like that. Now, the thing I said from the beginning, you burden yourself to think. You make these decisions for yourself to know that, let me study my demographic, let me study my audience. And over time, like I said, we start when we have no one following us. So you have a chance to make as many mistakes as you can. It is okay. Accept to make mistakes. Accept to make mistakes. Because the thing about making a mistake is you have discovered a way that won't work. So make mistakes. Make mistakes. So over time, you start realizing that this is what is going to be on my TikTok. This is what is going to be on my Facebook. This is what is going to be on my Twitter. Or even better, you start tuning your content to apply to both. Now, that is a second level of creating content. But over time, if you're intentional, then you will start finding a way to create content that can be eaten on across all platforms. Because over time, when people start liking what you're doing, you get embraced a bit. You will put something on TikTok that is not for TikTok, but we will like it. But it's because you have tried your best to see that even if you posted it here or there, people will keep eating on it. But the other thing that would help you deal with that, like I said, when we do content on YouTube and Facebook and stuff, we are looking for followers. We want people to come follow. Yeah. Now, after you've made your video, you look at it and ask yourself, if it was not made by me and someone sent it to me, would I share it? Would I put it on my status if it were not mine? When you have your answer, you'll know what to do the next time. And over time, when you start practicing improvement, it will be, you will get there. And over time, you see the people on social media, you'll see them on Twitter, they're very serious and what, but if you tickle them the right way with the content, it will be accepted. The thing is, you have just not yet discovered the right mold. You've just not, and maybe we'd never even discover it. We keep working on it. We keep getting there. But the only way to know that this is for here, this, so many people were not being very, we don't care, the word is we don't care when we're making content. It's a reason why it's not working. But if you start caring, you'll find it very easy to find that you actually have responsibility in your content curation. The responsibility. So it's easy for you to pick something from your Twitter and put it on your LinkedIn because you cared. But the people on LinkedIn, they're the same people on Twitter. It is very possible that they will like how your content was all inclusive. Like it easily sips through places. It's not something that everyone will easily achieve, but it's achievable. But before we achieve that, we should first look through our analytics. People who have the detailed analytics, and you know what works for which, and you don't have to put it there anymore. Yeah.
Very helpful. I think what I pick from you is the ability or the willingness to also experiment. In conventional marketing, we have what we call A/B testing, where you make certain assumptions, but go ahead to test them and see if the assumptions are on point or not, and then you also iterate as you go along. So start measurement, and we'll talk about that after the headmaster. How do you measure? What do you measure? Why should you measure what you're doing? We have a tendency of making it a one-way street. You just talk. Just imagine going out on the street and you start shouting. That's how many of us do our social media. I'll hand over to the headmaster, and then we'll continue the conversation after.
Thank you so much, John. You missed out, sir, at the end of headmaster. So, but I will forgive you because you're the moderator today. I just had to come in and just to give you a breather to take some Renzori water, which happens to be sponsoring our water. But also I couldn't resist to see the comments coming in for Sandra and Uncle Mo. And I thought I needed to read some of these. Sandra, people are saying, thank you so much for being original. Thank you so much for telling them you wanted the money. Many people come and go tell them that they want, it was my passion, but thank you so much for being honest. Uncle Mo, thank you for allowing people to make mistakes. Uncle Mo, you are now a trendsetter. You are telling people, go and make mistakes. They are saying, thank you so much for making that. There are quite a number of questions that I'm going to be sending over. But Sandra, there's actually some questions coming in here, and they're asking Sandra about the tomato diseases. I'm seeing things about tomato pesticides. So that the teacher is now becoming the chemist. Hello, Sandra. I have just started the same business of tomatoes. May I know the current price of a box goes for currently at wholesale price? I have tried to do my research, but the results are very varying. Sandra, how do you deal with seasons when the prices are as low as 550K? I just allow me to just slot in a little bit of these comments. Most of these are comments. Others are very, very long. I don't want to go into this, but just know it is overwhelming. Haters are part of positive criticism, but they can be too much in that tone. Can you please, okay, know that haters are real fuel to push us to achieve. That is Benjamin agreeing with you, Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo, let me just scroll down a little bit. Thank you, Moses and Sandra, for sharing your journeys. I like the passion that you have existed. But I also wanted to use this opportunity to let everyone know that I actually don't have 45 followers. I have checked. I have rechecked, and thank you. I don't know if you joined before, but I have 58 followers. Thank you so much. It is Apollo Mbowa. Hey, Twitter, I'm there. Thank you. Over to you, John.
So I think we'll start from where Headmaster Sir has ended the conversation.
Yeah.
The tomato business.
Yeah.
what do you have to say to someone out there who is looking at starting? What are the bottlenecks they should expect?
Yeah.
How should they overcome them?
Okay, thank you. Um, well, I'll still share my experience. It was the money, yes, but I knew money wasn't going to come. Okay, I knew it wasn't going to be very easy. Yeah. With farming, what I've learned, of course, I didn't go to school, but experience is what you put in is what you get out. And with that, I don't mean the money, the effort. Yeah. Many farmers or many people who want to, of course, they see you slaying, on social media. Man, in farming, like in the garden, it's not slaying. This I just use it as an slave farmer. But when you meet me in the garden, it's actual work, yeah? I don't just point, or you do this, tell the workers, I get him. Because me, I treat it as a business. That's number one. It's not something from the very word go. The little man I had, I used it to invest, but I knew it was my business. And if it had failed, I was going back to Ruero, to my mother's house, yeah? But I was like, how am I going to make this business work? So the mindset should be treating farming or tomato growing as a business. So what do you do to other businesses? Yeah, maybe if it's a shop you're having, or maybe it's a boutique, or maybe a station, or whichever business you might think about. How do you treat it? Do you keep records? Yeah. Do you like wake up early in the morning? Do you, think about other businesses? It's how you should treat farming. The mistake that people make, because they think, oh, it's farming, it's farming. I'll visit the farm over the weekend. Yeah, you invest your money in 3 acres of tomatoes, or let's say 5, or even 1 acre like this. You be on telephone farming. Hello guys, did you spray tomatoes? Did you? It has rained because Sandra told us you have to spray whenever it rains. Have you sprayed the tomatoes? You're on phone. Of course, the workers. I mean, this is your money. They're not going to. They'll lie to you that you've sprayed, and also you don't get time for your business, for your farming. You visit over the weekend. So me, from the very beginning, this was my business. I used to sleep on the farm. I used to wake up early in the morning, 5 a.m. Yeah, carry those jerry cans of water because I didn't have an irrigation system. Of course, I've grown. Yeah, there are things that I can afford before I used none to, but that didn't stop me. There were very many limitations. People was Katoina. Okay, I was going to speak Luganda. You don't have an irrigation system. How are you going to do this farming? Yeah, you don't have this. The people looked at so many things I did not have, forgetting the potential that I had. Yeah, sometimes don't have the material things that we have. Oh yeah, I have the hose, I have the irrigation system, I have the drip irrigations, I have the tanks, you might have all those things and still fed at the business. Me, I had nothing apart from the watering cans. By the even my hoe, the first I used it was my neighbors who I borrowed. Yeah, because I didn't know what to do, but my mom was telling me, Sandra, when you put your mind to this, you're going to succeed. And I also took it slow. Yeah, with someone who wants to start tomato growing, they want to hear the numbers. When you put your 10M in 1 acre, you're automatically getting 20M. Man, I'm not a motivation speaker, and I'm not giving you those numbers, yeah? Because me, because I've always restrained from giving many young people who approach me the numbers, because they get disappointed and they said, oh, farming, they're lying to us, there is no money in farming. You tell them, Sandra, now I have my 5M, where should I invest? Okay, you put like half an acre of tomatoes. After the season, how much will I get? Okay, if all goes well, you might get about your 7 or 10M. Man, where do I buy the seeds? I'm ready now. Forgetting these other things, yeah, it's a journey. And me, I didn't focus on them. Well, it was the money, but I didn't focus on it. Like the end, I had to make sure that I do the work in the garden. Focus on production. A good product will find its way to the market. That's what I taught myself. The effort was, in the work and because even if I give the right number that when you invest this, you're getting this, and you do kwara work in the farm, who's going to buy your tomatoes? So me, what I always tell people is focus on it's okay to have, you have some idea of how the market is going to be like, the price range of the tomatoes, also the market where you're going to sell, but don't focus on that. You're going to focus on that and forget this other step that you're missing. It just has back to what I said, don't miss any step in farming, yeah? So me, it was the work. I knew, because I told you, I didn't want people to laugh at me. Yeah, I already told them I'm doing tomatoes, and like, you're going to fail. So I had a lot of work to do. And also, people, when they look at, let me say now me, when they look at me on social media, they say, I want to be like, I also want to do the tomatoes. Well, some consult, some will not consult. But they don't know about what the actual work that I put in, yeah? So for them, they're going to think I'm an actual slayer, yet in actual sense I'm not. This is just a catchy name I use on social media platforms. You find me that days when I'm off social media, I'm deep down in the garden, I sleep on the farm, I'm with the guys, I'm carrying the knapsack, spraying when the guys are off. I'm weeding, I'm seeding, because I seed my seeds myself. I seed them. It's a lot of work. So, um, and to answer his question, someone who, because when you share these stories, they get excited. Sandra, they call you tomorrow. I want to start. When is the next season? I get them all the time, but I tell them, man, slow down. And somebody says, but Sandra, you discouraged. I thought you had ignored. Like, slow down. You don't know what you're getting into. There are challenges, there are ups and downs in farming. It wasn't. I didn't have the passion, like I said, but it grew because I knew there was money in it, and I know I was not only getting money, but I was also inspiring other people. People looking at me, oh, if she can do it, I can as well do it. Or, trying to redefine the agriculture, before you used on to see young people, okay, maybe they were there, but, and it being a digital era, I was like, let me use this platform to kind of show them that these things are doable. So first and foremost, you need to research, yeah? Take time, don't rush. With farming, you don't rush. Another word for farming, by the way, it's patience, if people didn't know. Another word for farming, we no longer say farming, it's patience. Farming is where you wake up, you go to your bed when your tomatoes the flowers are really nice. You wake up when they've all aborted. You go to bed when the fruits are there. You wake up when they've wilted. How do you explain that? So if you're not a patient person and you want quick money, you can invest in other things, non farming, yeah? If you're someone who wants to start tomatoes and your first thing is, now if I invest, how many boxes am I getting? When am I, where am I selling and all that? With farming, take it slow. Besides the resilience, besides the attitude, besides patience. If you're not patient, you're not going to make it, because the market is going to disappoint you, the workers are going to disappoint you, nature is going to disappoint you. You're going to face hailstorms, you're going to drought. All the things I'm saying, I've experienced them, yeah? But because I'm resilient, I'm still doing it and I'm still going. So first, what I tell them is, don't rush, don't get excited, slow down. First, drink some water, cool down, yeah? When you've cooled down, then you contact the right people. You know which people and also another thing maybe to note, don't follow everything on social media. Yeah, we have some people who pretend. Okay, is it called pretending? Uncle Moy, help me with that. Is it called that English? Oh, is it pretending? Okay, someone say I'm a farmer, in actually they're not farmers. Yeah. So if you follow each, and because now social media is where we work from, it's what we do, where we advertise, where we look for market, where we like basically social media where we do everything. So you want to invest, don't follow everything you see on social media. Many people have been conned money, many people have been scammed. Some coming to me crying, so there was this farmer, you've never heard of that farmer, especially people in the diaspora. So you do due diligence as someone who wants to invest money, because you're also looking at investing money. Don't just, it also takes us back to patience, and also not getting excited, because they're giving you the numbers, therefore you're starting, you have your available land and your company, get from the account and start. No. Make sure, make sure the person you see on social media is doing what they're actually saying. Sandra is saying she's doing tomato farm. Is she a farmer? Visit her farm. You get. Are there referrals? Are there reviews? Because you're also looking at, because your money might not even reach the garden. Because of us, we share experiences of we lost money in the garden. Yours might be lost before it actually does the gardening work. You get what I'm saying? So be very patient. Take your time. Yeah, do research. Know that don't trust everything you see on social media, especially to do with farming. And also about the prices. Prices fluctuate. It's unfortunate that it's not us who dictate the prices, us the farmers. Maybe when I'm invited again to talk to, maybe address the government, I'll talk about these other about these things. But for now, I'll stick to today's topic. But what I'm saying, it's not us farmers who dictate the prices. It's very frustrating. But I can't give you the right, the correct, the right price. Today it's 400, tomorrow 50,000, the other day is 100,000. Now that device, to answer a person who asked Apollo the question, is consistency. Yeah, it's like that when the prices are low, you're in production. When the prices are high, you're in production. You might, we partition now, we don't grow. Let's say you have your 3 acres. Okay, I'll start with smallholder farmers. Let's say with 1 acre. Yeah, don't plant it all at once. We partition it. We do it in phases, so that when maybe the prices come, a box is 50,000. Well, you're going to cry a bit, but at least there's another bunch, another lot that is waiting to be harvested in probably 2 months' time when the prices have gone up. Until maybe we're able to dictate the prices, then I'll give you the right answer of that. But so that's how we play around it. That you do in phases, depending on the size of land you have. Maybe you do like half an acre or quarter an acre, so that at least every month or every 2 months, you are in production with something on your farm. Yeah, I can go on and on, but I'll
Thank you, Sandra. I think what I read from you And it's no surprise because I think any investment, whatever the case might be, whether you're doing bonds, whether you're buying shares in companies, there will be days when things are pointing upwards and when they are not. The key thing is just like investment. I have gathered from your submission, farming is a long game. You have to be patient, you have to be resilient and keep at it, then get value out of it. Uncle Mo, I'm a big fan of your content because I think it's quite unique and somehow it manages to make me laugh. But even if I laughed until my tummy hurt, that's not going to put food on your table. How do you monetize your content and get value, financial value from it?
Starting out as a content creator, I wanted to make money. I wanted to make money so bad. It didn't work out. I remember reaching out to some companies, hey, you can do some product placement in my videos because I have about like 1,000 people per video I put up. I just started. And they were like, you have good conversation, and it didn't work. It was very frustrating looking for money at the beginning. It was so frustrating that I gave up. I gave it up. I remember I had proposals. I written a proposal. It was so frustrating. I stopped and I was like, you know what? I'm not a marketer. I'm a content creator. What I know is writing stuff and making videos about it. So I gave up on the money because it was not coming, and actually it even took much, much longer when I gave up on it. But I chose to get fulfillment from another place. You see, whenever I wake up to do stuff every morning, it's because of certain fulfillment. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's what the money will bring, sometimes it's just someone to say thank you. So I got to a point I channeled my fulfillment from what I was doing to be just someone saying that was nice. And that stuff drove me crazy. I was like, that was nice. I can actually do it again. So I went, wrote another one. I would be in the news. I would be watching what is happening and be like, I should have an opinion on that. I should do something on that. I gave up on the money. The money was so frustrating. The first time for the money to come in, and it's automatic, over time, to get monetized on YouTube, YouTube asks you indirectly, show us that people want to watch your stuff. And how? You have to show to YouTube that people in a year can watch 4,000 hours of your content. 4,000 viewer hours. Now, I make 5-minute videos. Each day YouTube counts a view once. Do you know how many times you have to watch my 5-minute video to make me 1 hour? Do you know how many days? So I had to give up on trying to chase money, and I had to chase how you watch my content. And after 5 months, and it rarely happens for people who make very short videos, because people usually get monetization early, people who make 1 hour videos, so you can gather the hours easily. So after 5 months, I got the email from, because like I told you, my videos are 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So it took me to have about 3 viral videos for me to make the numbers. Those numbers are crazy if you're making short videos. And I got the email from YouTube that from now on, if you allow us, we shall put ads in your videos so that you can earn from your content on YouTube. That was the first point of monetization. Then, of course, if YouTube has seen that you work like that, then of course, even people here would start to realize that probably people are watching his content, so let us work with him to maybe push brands or push certain conversations and stuff like that. But because you are intentional with making sure that people keep watching your content, don't be over people paying you. If you can understand how people shall keep watching the content, then it's going to be easier for people to pay you because what we do, being that we're chasing numbers, it's very clear that we are in this for influence. So everyone is asking themselves, how many people do you influence? How many people care that you have work on social media? So over time, you start gathering your crowd, You start understanding what the, because me, I read, when I post something, I can have about hundreds of comments. I'm telling you, I read all my comments, I respond to all my comments. Sometimes they got thousands. So right now, it's still very possible for me to do. Probably I will stop after some time. But right now, it helps me know which direction, what people like about what I just did. It is important for you to know your people. For me, I do that to know my people. You see the thing about guys who follow us, they didn't ask us for these things. You know, someone just comes and follows you. So for me, it touches me a special way. So I am intentional with that. And over time, I'll give you an example of what it means to. There's a time I went to do zip lining. There's a certain place in Lugazi. So I get in there, we get to the zip lining area, and the guy in charge of the zip line thing is like, welcome to Griffin, about something like that. Yes. Now we're going to zip. I was like, where's the zip line? He's like, it is not here. We start with a nature walk. I was like, nature. I was like, Michi Boneka, do you know how I came here? Could have walked here. Me, I wake up every day to a nature walk. I was like, you man, put the zip line here. Me, I zip line, I go back. So it is important that they see the van coming. They're like, these are blacks. A zip line here, let us put it here. So it is important that if something has started making money for you, every day be intentional to tune it to the people that have come to gather. None of those people asked for your stuff. So if they're still gathering around your fire, keep tuning that fire. Yeah.
Wow, really, really powerful. I think that there are so many ways to make money online. I also always find passion, but at the end of the day, a father of two, bills have to be paid. Yeah, so I think it also helps to put it into perspective for the audience out there. What this digital thing is. Many people think that when you talk about digital marketing, it is social media, social media, social media, social media. There's so many ways to look at digital marketing that can add value to you as a person, as a business, and even digital itself has its own process, its own life cycle, so to speak. Start off from strategy, what are we going to do, where, on which channels, what message are we delivering, etc. Create the content. Is it going to be video? Is it going to be artwork? Is it going to be a poll? You know, whatever you choose. Distribute this content organically, basically without paying, or distribute it with some ads. Then measure, iterate, try and convert to what you want to drive. I want to come back to you, Moses. It's very difficult. There is Uncle Mo, and then the crowd you pull. And then there is John Senkezi Saloon somewhere in Chireka. No one knows about me. My content is not interesting, or perhaps it hasn't got the right enough exposure in the initial stages for me to get value from the time I spend on the platforms. Now, what businesses have done is they've resorted to paid advertising. So they run ads on Facebook, on Twitter, on the Google platforms, etc. And it's like a hack, so to speak, for you to grow fast, even if your content might not be as interesting, or you may not command big audiences the way you two guys do. What has been your experience with ads? Have they worked for you? And if not, what are those organic ways that someone can use to grow without investing in paid advertising?
And before I even get to that, sorry, I just missed out this one about monetization of our content. When we move our content and it gets to a certain level, I think the biggest prize in the market, or even in the world right now, is endorsements. So you should work hard enough for you to land the endorsements. I have been lucky in the about a year I've been doing this, that I've had people come on board to work with me because of what I'm doing in media right now. I don't want to say names, but my social media platforms will say it. But if you're doing what I'm doing and you want to move it as high as possible, that's what comes, and even more. And even more. There is much, much more. Going to ads. When I was starting out, there's a time my channel stagnated. It was not moving, it was not growing. So I was like, you know what, let me start paying, uh, sponsoring my posts so that they can reach more people. The issue I had with that, okay, I would get hits here and there, but the issue I had was for me, for my kind of work, it felt like forced advertising. Um, it, and in the beginning, being that you're still really getting the swing of it and stuff, uh, somehow Facebook makes sure that this thing reaches a certain person. But yeah, you'll see that people saw, but you'll realize over time that the important thing is the content, not how far you through it. You will get 10,000 views on that sponsored post, but it is not going to turn into, for example, me, I would sponsor on Facebook so that I get people viewing on YouTube. People really just viewed because it showed up on their timeline. So how do people take the next step? The same way we watch ads at the beginning of a YouTube video. It is forced, as in people can't wait to press skip ad. They're itching. They wish, they just can't wait. And you see, but if the ad had something about it, probably we would watch. The ad for this webinar has been running on YouTube. And I've had people reaching out saying, for the first time, in the middle of the video, they have sat through an ad. I thank the guy that did it. Yeah, they sat through the ad. So there's the ad, you're really trying to, okay, I don't want to use that word, but you're trying to get someone else to do your job. There's a girl, she's Kenyan, she's called Bridget Bema. Bridget Bema did a video in beginning of 2021 in Nairobi. And we shared it here, how she's a stubborn girl. Every list they were reading in class, Bridget Bema was there. Bridget Bema, everywhere Bridget Bema. We shared that thing without Bridget Bema sponsoring it. The thing I said a little earlier, when you look at the content you've made, would you easily share it if it was not yours? So we should put more effort in the curation, in being different, in exciting, when you have not done that. I did ads. I want to tell you, they didn't help me. People were trickling in, but they showed me, over time I stopped paying those dollars for me, because I realized I want to do content that is easily shareable. Now, which ads are actually even much better? Okay, for information, you see, maybe sometimes people can't send out certain information without the excitement factor. But if you reach the right people, I'm telling you, last year I was contracted to tell people about the stock exchange, the stock market. It is the most boring topic you'll ever share with normal people. But I created content around being a normal person. I talked about a market, a normal marketplace, and what difference it would have with the stock market. And I used normal things like tomatoes, cabbages, kukumanga, and people were on board. So it's a thing of the content most times. So that even if you're going to press the promotion button, your money is well spent. I was fortunate that over time, as I started sharing my work, of course, people who have big followerships landed on it. I'd be like, well, who's this guy? So that helped me much, much more than the ads I sponsored. What does that mean? My content was shareable. So if you've done your content, another thing to throw in there, talk to more people as you create the content. When I write a script, I share it with 5 people. For me, it is okay. I'm doing this stuff for thousands of people. I don't care people reading my work. And then they come back, they're like, this one, you'll have a problem. This is so funny. Why don't you put it at the end? You see, because I'm doing it for them. So they keep pointing me in the right direction. By the time I put up my body of work, it is actually supported by many people. I opened up my work to people. So let the work be very compelling before you press add. Yeah.
All right. Sandra, you don't do a lot of paid advertising, and yet you've managed to get value from the platforms.
Yeah.
There is also that common question: it's quite, I don't know if it's a Ugandan thing or all of us in the world. You post your tomatoes properly and you say 1 kg is maybe 5,000 shillings. The first question is how much? How do you engage your audiences and get value from them? How do you keep them engaged? How do you manage your funnel, getting someone from just asking about your tomatoes to actually buying them? How do you manage to effectively deliver to, because I imagine you do deliveries.
Yeah.
How do you handle the deliveries? Because you see, one of the biggest challenges for e-commerce at any scale is fulfillment.
Yeah.
I've placed my order, how fast is it getting to me? So how do you manage that entire cycle on your end?
Okay, now I'll tell you that some of the things I've learned on the job, yeah. Nobody told me, nobody mentored me, but I wanted to make money because I saw the numbers increasing almost on a daily basis. You just post a picture of you posing, putting normal clothes, yeah, maybe some lipstick and some eyeshadow, and people that you're getting likes 10,000, 5,000, but it's like, I'm not earning from this. How can I start earning? Yeah, of course there were endorsements, people were calling, maybe companies calling you to train their staff, then also schools, mentoring the young generation, maybe also individuals, because at first it was me earning off social media. When I put other work, can you tell me can you also teach me how you're doing it? Of course I charge money 50,000. Yeah, if you want to come to the farm for 3 hours. Oh yes, and I also want to do. So that was off social media. Now on social media, I was like, okay, this is not enough, because I don't only train, but I also grow. I'm also a farmer. I need to make money, guys. That's why I started farming. So I saw what other farmers how they were selling and what they were selling. It also takes us back to you being original, you being different, yeah, because we are so many tomato farmers. I'm not the only one in Uganda. But I had to be different how I sell and how I grow. So I realized most of them sell the traditional way of boxes, manyawat. Kumbe, the pesticides we buy are sold in kgs and liters. The fungicides, but why do we sell in, weight? A middleman will come, look at your box. I think this is about 100 kgs. I'll give you 200. Like, it seemed to dictate. I was like, no, that's why I went to school. Yeah, I'm a farmer, but that's why I went to school, to get some knowledge. So I came up with selling in kilograms. Yeah. Of course, at first it wasn't very easy for people to adapt on social media. Like, first we used to nakasero, bakuyolera chitansa, nkumitano, I had to give them a reason why to buy, why they should buy from me. So I had to explain myself. These are grown, of course, pure organic, but they're grown by me. Support young farmers. Support local farmers. You have to. You get to campaign. So you have to give them the reason, and also the quality, because if you are selling in kilograms, how are your tomatoes different from the ones I buy from the market, from Nakasero, from Calero, from Owino, from. Then also had a lot to do with the customer care. I realized most corporates, don't want to go to the markets. Ate parking, ate sujui what, ate phone snatchers. I think soon I'll be starting to supply in SSF. I mean, you guys shouldn't be going to the markets. I mean, we are here, I'm here. So anyway, but I knew the platform I was going to use was Twitter mainly. So I told them, you know what, guys, these tomatoes are cleaned well and they are well packaged, and I wasn't just talking about it, but I was demonstrating. I was actually showing them, and also the weighing scale. I posted. I use. He does videos or uses videos. Me, I communicate using pictures. I talk less on Twitter, but I do. Of course, I do some captions, but pictures. I realize it also has a lot to do with you understanding your audience. What do they want? Yes, you might have the content, but that's not what your audience is interested in. You might have the words, you can talk, but they want the pictures, they want the video. So me, I used to talk and also show them that this is how the 5 kg pack looks like. And it was something new, some of them were like, we only see it in supermarkets. Like, this is not supermarket. Don't go to supermarket. You just stay in your office, stay at your home. I'm going to deliver the tomatoes. Now, when you talk about how is it going to be different? I realized that you need to give people reasons why they should buy from you. You're not the only one in the market. It's very competitive. Some people are watching Sandra, and so many are trying to be like me or doing what I'm doing. Not only farming, but also deliveries. Sandra is doing it, we're also going to do it, Me, I'm original, I'm doing my thing. So it's very competitive, and if you sit in your comfort zone, saying, I'm the only slave farmer in this country, and I'm the only one who supplies tomatoes, my friend, you're going to be shocked. So me, I had to know that I had to give my customers a reason why they should buy from me. At first, when I was starting, I was delivering the tomatoes myself on the truck. On that, of course, slayers don't sit on trucks, but like I told you, it's just a name. I mean, me, I used to sit on a truck. Yeah, of course, hiring a vehicle, getting the orders. Now, how did it bring in money? How is it bringing money? Post on social media, get the orders throughout the week. I came up with a day when to deliver, and that was Friday, because I realized people use the things over the weekend. As you're leaving your office at NSSF, you live with your pack of tomatoes, yeah, 5 kgs or 10 kgs or maybe 1 kg, go back home. You're not going to shop, yeah. So I chose a day that was Friday. All these are ideas, like Friday, when people are leaving. Give me your location, give me your number, give me the quantity you want me to supply. And I made sure that I delivered, yeah, because I wanted to retain. You're talking about retaining customers, yeah. People are going to come, but what's going to make them stay? What is going to make them order from Slave Farmer? Yeah, I made sure that I delivered. And if when I failed, of course, traffic, I give you, I tell you I'll be here at 2 p.m. I fail because of traffic and other issues. I still communicate. Communication is very important in business. That's what I've learned, yeah. Don't take a customer for granted. Even if they got at only 2 kgs, there are some guy, only 3 kgs, but he's going to call you Sandra. you get it? So you don't say, but only 2 kgs, you have to humble yourself, yeah. When you share a story to others, like, but how could you even talk to you like that? It's because you never know. And of course, some have, grown from 2 kgs to monthly subscription. There is buy every week, you get from me. So you have to be very humble when you're dealing with customers. You have to communicate. Don't take them for granted that he will understand only 2 kgs. When you're not going to deliver, because these people have their expectations. When you're not going to deliver, now for me, that's deliveries. I tell you at 2 p.m. I fail. I communicate, please, can I do tomorrow? Or maybe can you still wait? So that they're in the know. That way you're respecting their money. And also you have a brand to protect. Because I don't think you would be happy or me getting those bad reviews on my social media platform. Oh, she tells you she's delivering tomatoes and she doesn't deliver, you get. And also over time I've learned that okay, when I said it was only tomatoes, was that I was growing. So like, but now I still have to go to the market to get onions. Why don't you start bringing us all the things? But I was growing them, though on a small scale, these other vegetables. I was like, wait a minute, this is a good thing. So I came up with a combo. Yeah, of course, with a few of my team members. Like, I think we should start doing a combo. Yeah, it's like that. There is no reason we don't want you to go to the market. Why should you surely go to the market when I'm here, a local farmer? Support me. Yeah. So we came up with a combo which has tomatoes, carrots, green peppers. Others were, of course, we also came up with add-ons, the butunda, passion fruits, and those other things. Yeah. Also make sure that what you advertise is what you give. Don't say you're giving juicy tomatoes round and you bring oval-shaped and you bring rotten. Don't say you're bringing 5 kgs and you take 4 kgs. Yeah. Some people want quick money. People think, of course, when you're on social media, yeah, or maybe I'll use my guy to deliver. Where will they find me? Me, it's about getting the money. Be very honest. That is what has kept me, going. Very honest. Even if they're less by a kg, communicate to your customer. Then we were supposed to be 5, but they are less. Maybe also reduce the money, something like that. So that's how it has helped me. I put up a poster, flyer. I get the orders, yeah. Then I make sure I deliver. And even when I fail to deliver, I still communicate to them. Because, yes, I've retained some. Of course, some for other reasons they've left. But I still get recommendations. So, yeah, and that has kept me going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We have a question for you before I let you go.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
Geoffrey Mabirizi is asking, Sandra, what percentage of your product is sold using social media?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you purely social media, or do you sell a certain percentage online and then other offline channels?
I think 60%.
Wow.
Because I realized we are being cheated. Other farmers by their spokesperson. Self-proclaimed spokesperson of farmers. We are cheated, yeah. They cheat, especially middlemen. Like I told you, we don't dictate the prices, yeah. So they cheat us. A middleman will come or a trader, and they tell you, they grade them. This size, the big, I'm giving you this amount. You go through a lot of, of course, inputs are expensive. Even the work, paying workers and all that. So that's why I had to use social media so much. It's like that. These traders also sell them the buchere, we call them buchere, those small size tomatoes, yeah. Because I know with small size tomatoes, they're going to give me little money, but at least I've already gotten some from social media. So I make sure that I try social media so much, and also referrals, and I also do door to door. Yeah, get my flyers, now come to your area. If I know where you stay, maybe let's say in Tinda or Chireka, try to, distribute, because at the end of the day, it's marketing. Tell them there's something new, something, and it's purely done by a farmer. I front that so much because many people look up to me, especially fellow farmers. They say, Sandra, we're also coming, it's you who's going to help us maybe get the market, get good prices of our products and all that. So I think 60%, I sell 60% of my product on social media. Yeah.
Right, that's quite impressive, Sandra. If you have any questions out there, feel free to post them. If you're on Zoom, just hit the chat. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, please feel free to comment, and we'll get Uncle Mo and the slave farmer to respond. We already have some for you, Uncle Mo. Henry Sally is asking, at what, because you're the one who is encouraging people failing. So he's asking, at what point along the journey does one realize they are making too many mistakes that they are deterring their growth?
In the Bible, there's a part that people want to refer to allow themselves to drink alcohol. There are a number of scriptures, but one is a part that says, take alcohol for your stomach that gets ill often. And it has been understood that God was the one saying that. It was not. It was Paul speaking to Timothy. But no one wants to tell people it was Paul telling Timothy. Now, when I was talking about this, I continued to say that the good thing about mistakes is whenever you make one, you have discovered a way that does not work. And over time, when you discover a way that doesn't work, it pains you. The guy who made the bulb, Edison, I think, yes, Thomas Edison, they claim he tried 1,000 times. I don't know who was counting. But he's the one who was like, I would discover something I want to do on the next bulb trial. It costs for the bulb to go bust. So over time, you just don't want it inside you. You have to have a problem to not be so mad to not touch another mistake again. So over time, it's your personal discipline and what you want to achieve that keeps now getting you in line to make sure, let that be my last mistake. Let that be my last mistake. So over time, you realize that I have reached a level where we don't make mistakes. So that whenever a mistake is made, as in, I don't know, a head rolls. But it's because you have suffered. So every mistake gets you suffering. That guy was making bulbs. A bulb will go off, they'll get another inert, until when they discovered which inert gas will have to be enclosed in a piece of glass, and it will shine for some time for people to see things inside their house at night. If it is okay to just keep busting those bulbs, Edison was losing money. So that's it. It just comes over you.
Sandra, you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I want to comment on that. I beg to differ. That's why someone was actually, I think it's you was saying he's encouraging people to fail. Well, it's okay when you fail, but don't start with that attitude. You get that, yeah? Don't start that attitude, oh yeah, it's okay, I fail again, I get up. Me, when I was starting, most farmers actually, when they start their first garden, their first project, they fail at it. Be it tomatoes or poultry, or they fail at it. Me, my first garden was a success. Yeah, like I got money. I was like, wait a minute, Kumba, I was in class teaching and there was money in this thing, yeah. But because I took time to research, yeah, of course it's okay. You have this attitude that I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm not going to make a miss. I'm not going to fail. When you fail, it's okay, yeah. I had the right attitude. I made sure I got the right information. I made sure I avoided the missed or the failures, yeah. And the mistakes, I avoided them. I did the right thing, get the right knowledge, use the right seeds, get the right inputs, spray on time, rather consult with the right people, and it was a success. So that should be positive, yeah. Have the attitude that I'm going to make it. But if you're like, oh yeah, it's okay, Mama said, yeah, it's okay to fail. You know, I can fail 1, 2, 3, 4 times. No, that should be really positive. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically start off with a positive attitude,
Yes.
but should you fail, pick yourself up,
Yes.
then try the next time. If you
Yeah.
do fail, try the next time, but start off from a point of, thinking that, or even not just thinking, but believing that you're going to make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
other people have made it. Why don't you? You can make it.
One of the key advantages fronted for online channels, even if it's on the professional side or the business side, is our ability to measure what we are doing. You're able to tell what's working, what's not working, how many people you've reached. So while I'm a big advocate of what we call integrated marketing communication, where you get, if you can, TV, radio, print, digital is out there in terms of your ability to do something, see whether it's working or not, and attribute growth to a particular effort. Moses, what are those things that you look at? I remember when you were starting, you hinted on the fact that you push out a video, look at the comments, see what's working, what's not working. What are those 1, 2, 3 things that you feel everyone out there should be measuring as far as their content is concerned, as a way of improving on their craft?
Like I said, social media is a little elaborate. If your account is to go, is business, what they call social media platforms called business accounts. It's a little elaborate. So you're supposed to know how far your influence, how far you want your influence to be. Now, for me, my influence, like I said, carve out and understand where you want to be in the market. You, inside your heart, you should know. Some people, it's enough that someone saw my post. Some people, impressions are enough. But me, the impressions, if I don't have engagement, I didn't work. So for my win is engagement. So if I didn't have engagement, that means I was not relatable, I was not believable, I did not excite. So I have to go back on the drawing board and get those things all over again. So for me, that's my measurable thing. We're doing this for influence. If you're not influencing enough with your craft, there's that saying, I think it's also in the I think I read so much Bible. But anyway, there's a part that says the one that is a good custodian with little should definitely be good with more. So how have you handled the little? Yeah, how have you handled the little? And before I even finish what you asked, just to slide this one in, of my submission of make mistakes. It is very, very unfortunate that people first become so big to appreciate that statement. At the beginning, they won't get it. But when you get so big, you tell that younger you that it was okay, man.
100%. So it's basically for you, because there are quite a number of metrics to track. Engagement is very important to you, and to the uninitiated out there, it's basically the reactions, the likes, the comments, the shares that you get to your content. I think the market average is around 5 to 10%. So if your content is doing upwards of that, then you're doing really, really well.
My last post has 70% engagement.
Wow. Really,
Yeah.
really impressive stuff. Yeah, so I think the key thing here is social media or digital marketing is not a form of marketing where you throw a stone and then pray and wait for the results. You need to actively, seek these results out there, measure how many people you're getting to for how many times, which is the impressions, and what they are doing with your content, which is the engagement. Sandra, what do you track on your end besides the orders? What do you look into as far as value is concerned for measurement?
I think beat is money.
Has money
Well,
been
has money been made? Because I think I also talk about influencing. Me, I'm not a content creator like him. I'm an ordinary farmer. Yeah. Of course, when the numbers started increasing, of course, when you put up a post, the engagements, and retreats, likes and all that. People are contacting me, companies, individuals, can you influence for us? Need an endorsement. But because I know I won't perform 100% the expectation, I had to decline. Yeah, because that is not me. You get? I love money, but the money I want is purely farming, and selling my product. Yeah, I don't have even that time. Not that I don't want this other money, because it's clean money. You just sit on your phone 24/7. You engage, mamanya, you share and all that. Why? I knew I have a garden. I know I have a garden. I also have my farm. I have other things to do with agriculture that I engage in. So I want to give time to which is a mistake that most people do. You take up so many roles, yeah, because you have numbers on social media. You automatically think you can be an influencer. Hope it's not an attack on them, but but I'm being honest here. Numbers don't mean you're good at influencing. Yeah, me as Sandra Nabasire, I turn down those, those. I mean, they ask, and I tell them I can't. But you have the numbers, Sandra. People follow you. I mean, that is not me. I don't want to take your money and then I post one day, or maybe you want me to post 3 times a month, and I post once. So, mixed just about the money from my produce that I sell. Yeah, maybe the kind of how maybe money comes in besides the product that I sell is when maybe companies contact me that, Sandra, we have this, maybe want to train our staff about tomato farming. Can they come to maybe is it called Rotaract or Rotary, whatever? They contact me, want to bring our members to your farm to start. That's when the money can now come, because I know it's a one day thing. Yeah, I'm not committing myself to doing what I'm not going to deliver. You get? So unlike him, meat surely farming, and if you want to support it, buy my tomatoes, call me for trainings, mentorship, and that is it. I don't, and it also helps you as a brand. Yeah, and if you want to build yourself, because me, I would, that's why I also said, don't do so many things. Now you're a farmer, you're selling tomatoes, and then now you're influencing, and then the other day I don't really think you can deliver. So me, I chose one thing and I'm focusing on that. If I'm to do something that is outside the farm, it has to do with still farming, maybe the training and that. Yeah, so the value is money. When I get money, that is it for me. That's what I've gained from my social media. People order, Sandra, I want tomatoes, want a basket, we have functions, I have a grocery store, can you start supplying me? Restaurants contacting me, hotels contacting me, companies contacting me to supply their stuff. That is where I see the money coming in, and that's where I've concentrated. Yeah.
I think on the influencing part, for me, the question I always ask brands or anyone is it the hype or the type? Because, like you rightly said, having the numbers is not the story.
Yeah,
in
it's
itself.
not. It's not.
I'll hand over back to Mr. Headmaster, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, John. You still missed out a sir before headmaster. So it's sir, headmaster, sir. But we will definitely forgive you. I am happy to report that I gained another 4 followers. So I'm counting down that number, but also what I've learned from Sandra, what I've learned from Moses is it's not about the number of followers, it is the value you give to them. So my 62 followers kindly challenge me to be of value to you, and I hope I can deliver that. And then we bow to the others. I don't know if YouTube can do that. They refuse other people to follow you. The ones, the latecomers, yeah, to Balumye. But as we come to the end of this, I want to ask some questions. Like, you guys are all digital something, slate, digital something. So let me ask some questions from the layman's perspective. And I would need to get this your professional beat about it. Who is supposed to be on social media, and why? I'll give John that one. Yes, yeah.
I think everyone should be on social media, I would say. But social media, the moment you create an account, it's the same as giving birth to a kid. You have to be fully committed to look after them for the rest of their lifetime. Uh, Once you open up an account, you need, first of all, before opening up, be clear on what you want to achieve. Do you want the orders like Sandra does? Do you want the influence like Moses does? What is it that you think is value for you as far as engaging is concerned online? Then, how are you going to get there? So, I think the first part is figuring it out from that point of view. What do I want? What do I need to get there? The next big question you need to ask yourself is, where is my target group? We know each platform has different numbers. Facebook has between 2.5 to 3 million monthly active users. LinkedIn has over 800,000 accounts created. Twitter has over 560k monthly active. So each platform has numbers. You need to now align and ask yourself, where do I want to be? I'll use myself as an example. I'm on Facebook, but I restrict my Facebook correspondence predominantly to my friends and family. That's where I'll post about my sons. That's where I'll post about an experience I've had somewhere. Then on LinkedIn, I use a thought leadership approach there. I'm talking digital. You can think I don't do anything else apart from digital, which is more or less the case, really. But thought leadership, is it generating revenue for your business? Is it generating influence that you can later monetize the way Moses is? As long as you see the value there is on social media, it is a low barrier to entry platform. Opening them up is free. The only time you'll invest is, in creating the content, good content, as we've heard from Moses, and then you'll reap the benefits from it. So to answer your question plainly, everyone should be on social media, provided you see the audience is there and you figured out a way to create value for yourself by engaging on the channels.
Thank you, John. I think from what I get from the long, short answer is everyone should be on social media as long as you have value there. You don't just get there. So, meaning if you do not have value, you are sending those threatening messages. If you don't send this to 10 people, you are going to die tonight. That's not your place to be. I feel like one of the barriers to getting into social media is that everyone I am eating, they take a photo and they send you. And who's interested? I am going, yes. If Kusimbula was me, I am here. So there is quite a bit. So my other question here is from the man who makes money. YouTube writes to you and says, there is money here for you. What do you, and this I speak to as a person who has been in a room where no one is talking to themselves, but they are all talking on phone. You're in a room, but everyone is on their phone. And when you get out of the room, everyone is talking to you on phone, but you never talk to each other while in the room. How much time would you consider appropriate to dedicate to personal social media space?
For me, I think it becomes a problem if it starts harming your immediate people around you. Social media, just from the definition, social, it is really just enhancing the primary bond as human beings on earth. The truth is, when we don't have this, when we're not together, things don't happen. So social media was really supposed to find a way we can be together. Because it is important for us to be from the power you have as just a small family. How would it be if your family was 1 billion big? So that's what they thought. Half the time they were wrong. But so it is important. There's a certain level of fulfillment. But just like your work, it is important for your family. But it's a 9 to 5. But I don't even know who works 9 to 5. People started earlier than that. But you know that, and actually your family will understand that this is the moment. Then you'll close to go and take care of immediate family. So for me, it shouldn't be into the realm where it starts to affect the people that actually care about you. Yeah.
I know someone who was laughing in the corridor watching your videos, and they were asking, are you laughing at me? The wife was asking in the other room. So you probably that one is going out of your bid now. And Sandra, finally, as we come to the close of this, by the way, I want to extend my thanks. Thank you so much. What the messages, I'm copying them so that I can send them to you. Everyone is asking and saying, you've been original, all of you guys. You have not been motivational speakers. And I just want to let the audience know that that's the job I do here at NSSF. I look for these guys. I am the person behind it. Please send the credits to me. It's not by mistake that they are here, but it is because of me. Please follow me, Apollo BAUER, number 63. But thank you so much. The audience appreciates your honesty. It appreciates. And when they want to reach out to you, they know where to find you on the social media pages. And as we wind up, one question here. If it is a book that you want someone to read, what book would it be?
To me,
Yes, to you.
about farming, someone who redefined the destiny of African women through agriculture.
What book is that?
About farming, say agriculture, say farming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I will go to you, John. We usually share a book. This is homework. A book that someone can read and you think can change their lives.
Yeah, if it's in the digital realm, it's a very dynamic field. So I wouldn't encourage them to read the book. I would encourage them to check out Think with Google. It's an online resource that is constantly updated with new content, the latest trends, the latest reports that will help you to keep abreast of what is happening. Because the book will be printed and tagged somewhere, and yet the field is quite dynamic. So Think with Google is the place to be.
Thank you, John. That defines the gift I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a link. I'm not giving you a book. And finally, Uncle Mo, what book do you share with the audience there if you are still subscribing to this thought? What book?
For me, the book I would share is a book I just completed reading by Will Smith called Will. You know, when we come and talk about these things, people might not appreciate. There's a story we don't have enough time to tell. The time when you are not following us, you know. So when I was reading his book, I could see so many flashes. And I mean, I'm a long way from where Will Smith is, but at least from where he starts from his dark room days, I could relate. And I would wish any person who's going through the same to understand that, you know what, it's the phase. Yeah, keep plowing through. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Uncle Mo. Thank you so much, Slave Farmer. Thank you so much, John Senkezi. Always it's the time that cuts us off, that the conversation can continue. From NSSF and everyone here says we thank you so much for dedicating some time to watch this with us, to learn with us, to convene in class, to be there, take notes, take the homework seriously. These things for us, we are paid. And me, I think in all these people, even the three here, I think I'm the only one who is paid, and I'm paid to talk. Mine is to talk, but yours is to take action. No one is going to pay you for discussing that what you have heard this and then you go discuss and do lugamba around it. The only thing you can do to get paid is take action. So ladies and gentlemen, I implore you to take action. Pick up a thing or two or one, just something, and do it. When you do it, your things will change in life. At NSSF, we believe ACT is an acronym for action changes things. So if things are not changing in your life, it's because you are not acting. I remind the midterm beneficiaries, please use the digital platforms to access your midterm and wait for the 45 between 0 and 45 days to be paid. Don't submit today and then tomorrow you are saying, I have not seen the money, but that money will come. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Moses. It's been an honor. From NSSF and the Council of Ladies with whom I serve to present you this, we say thank you and goodbye.